World War II was the most widespread and impactful conflict in human history, with an unprecedented toll on nations and populations. It engulfed nations across Europe, Asia, Africa, and the Pacific, involving over 100 million military personnel. The conflict drew a clear line between the Allies and the Axis powers, reshaping the global order. The war's roots lay in the aftermath of World War I. The Treaty of Versailles imposed severe reparations on Germany. It also stripped Germany of significant territory and limited its military capabilities. These measures created deep resentment among the German people. The 1930s brought the Great Depression, a global economic crisis. Unemployment, poverty, and hunger were widespread, creating fertile ground for extremist ideologies. In Germany, Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party promised to restore national pride and economic stability. By 1933, Hitler had risen to power, establishing a totalitarian regime. In Italy, Benito Mussolini led the rise of fascism. His government pursued aggressive territorial expansion, including the invasion of Ethiopia. Japan, under militarist leadership, sought to dominate East Asia. Its invasion of Manchuria in 1931 marked the start of Japanese expansionism. Appeasement policies by Britain and France allowed these powers to grow unchecked. When Germany remilitarized the Rhineland, the response was muted. The Anschluss, or annexation of Austria in 1938, was met with little resistance. Later that year, Germany took control of the Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia through the Munich Agreement. On September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. This invasion introduced the world to a new form of warfare, blitzkrieg, or lightning war. German forces used rapid, coordinated attacks by tanks, aircraft, and infantry to overwhelm Polish defenses. Britain and France, honoring their alliance with Poland, declared war on Germany. The early years of the war saw Germany achieve significant victories. In April 1940, it invaded Denmark and Norway to secure strategic ports and resources. In May 1940, Germany launched an offensive in Western Europe. Within weeks, it had overrun Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. France fell in June, leading to the establishment of the Vichy regime, a German puppet state. In the summer of 1940, the Battle of Britain began. Germany's Luftwaffe sought to establish air superiority in preparation for an invasion of Britain. British pilots, aided by radar technology and the resilience of the civilian population, managed to repel the German assault. This was Germany's first major defeat in the war. In 1941, Germany launched Operation Barbarossa, the largest military invasion in history. Over 3 million Axis troops crossed into the Soviet Union. Initial advances were swift, capturing vast territories and encircling entire Soviet armies. However, logistical challenges, harsh weather, and fierce Soviet resistance, particularly during the Battle of Stalingrad, turned the tide. The Pacific Theater began in earnest with Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. The surprise assault severely damaged the U.S. Pacific Fleet and resulted in over 2,400 American casualties. The next day, the United States declared war on Japan, officially entering World War II. Days later, Germany and Italy declared war on the United States. The Pacific conflict was brutal and sprawling. Japanese forces rapidly captured territories, including the Philippines, Malaya, and Singapore. The US Navy's victory at the Battle of Midway in 1942 was a turning point, halting Japanese expansion and putting the Allies on the offensive. The Holocaust was one of the most harrowing chapters of the war. The Nazi regime carried out the final solution, a plan aimed at eradicating the Jewish population of Europe. Concentration camps such as Auschwitz, Treblinka, and Dachau became centers of mass murder. Approximately 6 million Jews lost their lives, along with millions of Romani people, disabled individuals, political dissidents, and others. By 1944, the Allies had begun to turn the tide in Europe. The D-Day invasion of Normandy was a monumental operation. Over 156,000 Allied troops landed on the beaches of Normandy, France, in one of the largest amphibious assaults in history. This marked the beginning of the liberation of Western Europe. The Allies pushed eastward, while the Soviet Union advanced from the east. By April 1945, Berlin was under siege. Adolf Hitler committed suicide on April 30th, and Germany surrendered unconditionally on May 7. Victory in Europe Day was celebrated on May 8, 1945. In the Pacific, the Allies implemented an island-hopping strategy, capturing key islands to bring them closer to Japan. The battles of Iwo Jima and Okinawa in 1945 were particularly brutal, with heavy casualties on both sides. These victories set the stage for a potential invasion of Japan. The war concluded with a controversial and devastating act. On August 6, 1945, the United States dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, resulting in tens of thousands of immediate casualties. 3 days later, a second bomb was dropped on Nagasaki. Japan surrendered on August 15th, and the formal surrender took place on September 2nd, 1945. World War II brought an immense impact on humanity, with an estimated 85 million lives lost, including both soldiers and civilians. Cities across Europe and Asia lay in ruins, millions were displaced, and the global economy was devastated. The war reshaped the world. The United States and the Soviet Union emerged as superpowers, ushering in the Cold War. The United Nations was established to promote peace and prevent future conflicts. Decolonization movements gained momentum, leading to the independence of nations in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. Women played a crucial role in the war effort. They worked in factories, served in auxiliary military roles, and supported resistance movements. These contributions challenged traditional gender roles and laid the foundation for future social changes. The war also spurred technological advancements. Radar, jet engines, and nuclear energy were some of the innovations that emerged. These technologies would have profound effects on both military and civilian life. Culturally, World War II left a lasting legacy. Personal accounts, such as Anne Frank's diary, offer intimate perspectives on the human experience during the conflict. Films, literature, and memorials continue to educate and remind future generations of the war's impact. World War II serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked aggression and hatred. It underscores the importance of international cooperation, vigilance against tyranny, and the pursuit of peace. The lessons of this global conflict remain vital to this day.
Thank you.